All right. And we're ready. Okay, so lately I've really been thinking about mindset, and I mean, I've been thinking about this a lot, even in the calls before, in just kind of, and I've had this question, why are some people really successful in this business, and why are others not? Because do we see people that are super, super successful in this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like really successful, living lives that I'm like, whoa, I can't even imagine that right now. But people are really, really successful in this, and you guys can be too. I can be too. Like it's not a question. It's just a matter of, aligning a few things. So raise your hand or give me a nod if you found yourself being a people pleaser. I definitely have. And how about being emotionally run? Like, have you guys seen the movie Inside Out?
No.
Okay.
So good.
It's so good. It's a Disney movie, so it's absolutely precious.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you're in the mind of this girl. She's about, 12, 13 years old. She's growing up. She's run by 4 different emotions, which is joy. Joy is the best character ever. Sadness, anger, and disgust, and fear. There's 5 of them. So you see these little characters, and they all are the emotion that they play anyways. So it's like you are run by your emotions. It's like sadness is always in the driver's wheel, and everything you do is based on how you feel. Have you guys had those days?
Mm-hmm.
I know I have. Yeah. Okay. And then it's like, do you ever find yourself trying, and we'll just talk about obviously the business, but trying to fit someone else's mold. So looking at other coaches, thinking that you should be like them, or thinking that you should be chasing after this goal because this is the goal that the guy over here or the girl over here is chasing after. It's easy. It's really, really easy to get stuck in this. And this is why I think too that the gems are so important, because it's great for you to know who you are, how you're wired, what really gets you motivated. But it's also really good to know that about other people, right? So the other people on your team or the other coaches that you're going to be bringing on, because it's easy to look at someone and be like, why is that person making that decision? Why is she being so competitive? Why is she being so rude? She should be helping everybody when you're a pearl over here and you just have no idea why this person is super ruby. You're just like, what? But this is also the value of having a team, because we all fit together in a way that if I didn't have this person over here, I want to say that my coach, Mike, is he's not an emerald. I don't know, but I've worked with someone that's an emerald, that's very organized. Troy's an emerald. Okay. Organized, pretty pragmatic, thinks pretty logically about things, and tries to think everything through before. Whereas I'm someone that's ready to just jump off the cliff. I don't even know what's under there. I don't know if it's 2 feet or 200 feet. I'm ready to go kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it's really important to have these different personality types around us and in our teams and all of that. But you guys were created the way you were created. There is no mistake, okay? You are all fearfully and wonderfully created. That's the truth. And you all have something that I don't, and I have something that you guys don't. Vice versa. It goes the same way. So do you guys have pens and paper?
Mm-hmm. In a sense.
Okay. Can you draw? Okay.
Yeah.
On a piece of paper, if you can, I want you to draw a circle. A good size circle. Because I just want to show you how possible this is for us. This totally is, and we're going to get to why it is and how we can break down ways to really zone in. But so circle, divided into 4, like a pizza, 4 squares or 4 half circles, whatever. Okay, on the top, this is your right or your left.
Left.
Okay, your left, right, United States, America. We all live in America. This is an amazing land of opportunity. Obviously, that's what everybody calls it, right? People that are born, like I went on a missions trip to Thailand. Whoa, they do not have the same opportunities as us. Like, that's for real. I don't know if you guys have ever been out of the country or seen the way that other people live, but we are blessed, like massively, to live here. People there do not have this opportunity. So we all live in America. Next one over. Beachbody. Just right, Beachbody, I guess. We all have the same products, the same tools, the same trainings, the same access to all the different, whatever, the back office, all that stuff. Okay? The next one down under Beachbody is 24 hours. We all have 24 hours in the day. We all have the same amount of time. I know some people look like they have 500 hours in the day. Lindsay Matway can look like she's got 40 hours in the day because it's like, girl, get stuff done. Melanie Mitro, 35 hours in I don't know. Some of these people look like they have a ton of hours in the day, but everybody has the same amount of hours. It's just that everyone deals with them differently, The last little piece of the pie is you. That's it. You. So that's the part that is directing kind of all these other ones, really. And I'm not really directing them, but you are the one that's different in every single pie, right? So are you willing to bet on you? Are you willing to bet that you can do this? That you can really build the life and the business that you desire and dream of? Because I know that I'm willing to bet on you only because I've seen so many people do this. So it's what is the difference between them and us? Nothing. As far as the opportunity, the amount of hours, all that, there's nothing else that's very different. So that kind of just leads me to what are the tapes that are playing in your head? Because are you willing to bet on yourself? Or are you thinking things well, my dad told me I was dumb. My mom said I was stupid. I got an F in this class. I failed out of this school. So I really identify the things that are playing in your head. Are you comparing yourself to other people? Are you just all those nasty gremlins that we kind of went over when we talked about vulnerability? What are the things that are playing in your head? And you literally have to decide to make war on those things and tell them to go to hell, because that's where they belong. All those voices in your head that are telling you you can't do this, you'll never be good enough, you won't be as good as this, or you need to be doing this because this person is doing this. You have to tell them to go to hell, because they're not going to leave unless you do. So I also want to kind of ease you guys, or put some ease, because I know it's easy to get really down on yourself if you're not doing. Right? So if you're not inviting, if you're not talking to people, if you're not doing this, it's really hard to get down on yourself because you're not producing action. But your lack of action really is not a loss of your passion. It's not that you don't care. And when I heard this, I was like, oh, wow, whoa, this is so good. It's not that you don't care, and it's not that you don't have passion. It's just that you've lost your focus. It's just that you don't have a focus, right? Because and it's the same in relationships, marriage. Carly, you're married. Amber, you're about to be married. If you don't, you don't fall out of love with somebody. You just lose your focus on what's important. You start to get focused on other things, on other tasks, or you focus on the negative. It's not that you don't love that person anymore. It's just that your focus is off. So if we can change our focus, we can change the way that we act, that we move, that we produce, all of these things. And so we have to know what kind of expectations are we putting on ourselves, and what other expectations are others putting on us, because your value is not in your rank. Your value is not in your success club points, and your values are defined by you. So that's kind of where I want to get with this, because at the end of the day, I'm here to support you as my coaches to help you achieve your vision. Your vision and my vision might be completely different. In fact, they probably are. Okay, so your value in this is not based upon like, you need to hit Success Club, you need to do this, you need to do that. No, I want you to live the best life that you can possibly live, and that is by going after your values, staying focused on what your goals are. So your foundation is not on discipline. It's not on accolades. It's not on your business organization. All of this is going to come once you get straight on your vision, on your why. Because at the end of the day, it's really not about willpower. It's all about why power. Because and it's really, really, really important, like, you know, again, the vision in your marriage, like you have to have a vision for your marriage, a vision for your finances, a vision for your business, because if you don't, it's like you're not thinking about it. And the Bible says without a vision, a man will perish. Like, that's the truth. I can't change that. That is straight up just a law. Like, and you think about it, like, how many times have you, you know, in fitness, you don't have a vision for where you want to go. So what do? You don't necessarily eat so good here. You don't eat good there. For a couple weeks, you don't eat so good. And then you're like, well, why am I not seeing results? Oh, I'm skipping my workouts. Like, you don't have a vision for it. So you're not going to do it. Bottom line, there's nothing to feel guilty about. It's all just about kind of realigning, right? So it's not a guilt thing. It's just about getting to thinking like, what do I really want? And remember, don't align with someone else's vision, because that's not going to last a long time. You got to have your own. So, what are your vision? Why are you here? Like, does anyone want to share that? Because there is never a vision put on your heart. There's a reason why you guys are here. I don't know what it is necessarily. You may not even know what it is. I don't know. But there's something that's pulling you here. There's a reason why you're here, why you're a coach. And I know that there's never a case where a vision is put on your heart without the intent to fulfill it. Okay? So what is your vision? Does anyone want to share? Or does anyone have an idea? If
right
not,
now it's my wedding dress. So it's not necessarily like,
yeah,
but it's
still a vision.
like the only reason I did so many freaking squats today is because I put my bathing suit on my honeymoon. That's why. And I don't know, like arms, I don't do push-ups. I don't like push-ups. They're not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But my dress has no sleeves, so gotta do them.
Yeah. And that's a good example. I mean, that's a good example. It's like, what am I doing this for? Why am I doing this? I normally wouldn't want to do this, you know? So that's a great, like, example to be thinking of, because it's the same way with, you know, your marriage, with your family, with business, you know? It's like, what's going to push you what's going to pull you? The vision will pull you. And so it's like, you just have to find what you're willing to fight for. Like, what are you willing to fight for? For me, it's having time with Troy. Like, not having having nights alone. Like, I thought I'd be totally cool with it. And it's like, oh, whatever, I like being alone. I don't. You know, and I love having Beachbody because I love being able to talk to people and mingle and whatnot. But like, I want to spend time with him. I want that time freedom. I want him to be able to be home so that he can do his art all the time. I don't want him to come home so he doesn't have to work. No, because again, a man without a vision will perish. I don't want him to perish. You know, he has a vision for his art. I want him to be able to do that. Like, I want to be a stay-at-home mom, and I don't want that to mean for him to break his back. You know, like, it's like, what's going to pull you? Because there's a lot of times where I'm tired. I don't want to get up out of bed as early as I get up. I want to go to sleep earlier, you know, and like, I'm tired from the day. But like, I keep thinking of what it will be like if I just keep going. One more day, you know, because we stay in today. We have to. So it's like, you have to know that you have to know what you're willing to fight for so that you can show and teach your other coaches how to know what they're willing to fight for. Because as far as I know, you guys are looking to build a team. You're looking to bring others on and to just encourage others on towards their goals. Obviously, like, this is all in good timing. This is not me saying go build your team right this second. I know that you guys have it in you. And so it's important to really get deep with these things. And Carly, I know that you're already like diving in with that new book in the power of the why. So I can imagine that's going to be covering a lot too. I'd love to hear. Maybe we'll have you do a call one of these days.
Once I finish it, that happens.
Yeah,
Fingers crossed.
for sure. So it's like not having your vision set and going full force in this business and expecting results is like not putting wood in a bonfire and waiting for the fire to come before you put the wood in. It's like, no, it doesn't work like that. You have to put wood and then you light it on fire. The fire does not come before the wood. It's like this. The vision or the success in all of these things that you want does not come without your vision and your why and your movement forward. And with this, all in does not mean all day. All in does not mean all day. I know that you guys are very busy. I know that you guys both have super busy lives, and it's like a juggling thing. I completely am aware of that. With this, it doesn't have to be all day. Any amount forward really, really, really does make a huge difference. And as we get clear on our why, as we get clear on our purpose and why, the vision of this, it's easier to move. It is. You can control your focus. So it's like, again, what are you focused on? Where are you focused? Because I know that it's also easy to look at other coaches and to see what they're focused on and to see what they're doing. And then that kind of like is easily clouds our mind and our, confidence in ourselves in the business. But it's like blinders, really taking that time to get super focused on what you want. So it's like how do you start your day? Like for me, I get up, I usually obviously start coffee, duh. But I will listen to something that's motivational, that's usually Beachbody related. I get myself in the frame of mind, because for me, when I wake up, like I don't always feel the best. More often than not, unfortunately, I wake up with some sort of like anxiety or something, or especially if I had a bad drink, I don't know, sometimes I just got to talk myself down out of the tree when I wake up. But when I start to listen to these things of like positive motivation, maybe I listen to a sermon or something like that, that's going to get me in the right mindset. That's how I have to start my day. And that's a choice. Do I always want to do it? No. And then I try to do my power hour before Troy gets up, because again, this is all about knowing what's important in your life. So I get my stuff done before he gets up, because I want to spend time with him. Like I don't want to sacrifice, my relationship with him so that I can get this business done. That's like me cheating on him with the business. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of that I've heard and seen from other like coaches and stuff. So it's like really knowing what your priorities are, and we'll cover that in a minute. But I want you to write this down in some way, shape, or form. You are never stagnant. Every decision that you make is either bringing you toward or away from your vision. Every single decision is either pulling you toward or away from your vision. You don't have to get down about this. Don't go into any kind of guilt or bad feeling right now, okay? It's just about readjusting, And so you can think about these things over the next week, and we can like keep talking, but I want you to think of 3 to 5 priorities in your life. And I'll give you like my examples. Right now, like number 1 is God. I have to stay right with the Lord. Otherwise, like my mind goes all over the place and I'm just a hot mess, no good to anybody, because I'm thinking about all kinds of wrong things. Second, husband, obviously my marriage. That's like for sure. That's not going to change, And then it's Beachbody. So it's like I have to consistently make sure that like my husband is coming before this business. you know, and sometimes it's hard because I'm like, oh, I want to hit Success Club. Oh, I want to do this. But then I'm like, no, why do I want to do all these things? It's so I can spend time with him. So go spend time with him, you know, day, night. Lately, I've not been so good, but I try not to do any work whatsoever. Okay. And then, you know, family, friends is like number 4. It's like, it's always going to be a balancing act, you know, that's not going to go away. But I want you guys to think of 3 to 5 things that are your non-negotiable, your priorities, because this is how you're going to build your vision. This is how you are going to know what you need to do for you to hit your goal. You know, not what do I need to do? Stay up all night, hitting Success Club, don't spend time with my husband. No. It doesn't work like that. You know, because it's like, think about this. And it really only takes these minimal adjustments, you guys. It's like, think about the flights that are the guys that are in the war, that are like in the Air Force, right? If they don't pay attention to their little compasses and all of their little instruments, and they're just messing around, just playing around, not caring, the slightest little adjustment, they could end up in a no-fly zone in, like, say, Pakistan or somewhere crazy where what happens, they get shot down. Okay, that's like literally what happens. I know that's really dramatic, but like that's what happens to us when we do not align ourselves with our priorities. We start to like lose everything. We're just like, oh man, what's going on? Why is this failing? Why is this relationship on the rocks? Why is my business not moving forward? Why isn't this? Why isn't that? Why do I feel like a crazy person with her head cut off? Because we haven't aligned ourselves with our priorities and our goals. Bottom line. It's just the plain truth. And I don't want you guys to get shot down. I don't want to get shot down. You know what I'm saying? But it happens quick. So it's just always knowing like what is most important to you and how can you make those small adjustments every single day to make sure that you are fulfilling those things in your life. So yeah, it's like that's where you find your peace. That's where peace really is. Because have you ever noticed when you're like trying to balance everything, you're not aligning yourself with your goals, you're not reaching your goals, you're not, you know, and this is business, marriage, everything. Do you ever feel like you're super on edge, super anxious, super like you could lash out at anybody? It's because the peace is gone. So basically, just to kind of wrap it up, if you honor your priorities, you will promote. Bottom line, because you're fulfilled, you're in your place of peace, you're like rocking and rolling. It's the law of promotion. You're going to promote no matter what. Okay, so at the end of all of this, I just want you guys to know, just stop striving. Don't strive. Don't try to fight this and get on someone else's level. Just ride the wave of how you are created, of your goals, of your vision, of your priorities, and get very clear on what those are and honor them, because you will get back more than you can imagine. And that's pretty much it.
That's awesome.
You guys have any questions or comments?
No.
I think I could talk about this for days, only because I'm right in the midst of understanding my why. I know I've been a coach since June, but I think my whole reason for starting was it just helped me with consistency. Mm-hmm. So it was easy to just keep going because I wanted a reason to keep working out. It's just my consistency. My accountability partner is all it was. But I also have this knowing deep inside that there's a reason I haven't just kind of given up on the business side of it. Although I'll admit I'm not that active. I don't have any coaches under me. I don't really invite people, but there's a reason that I'm still drawn to this business. And I think I'm trying to understand now why, like, what is that thing that's keeping me here? And I don't fully understand it. I think about it all day long and I just can't grasp onto it yet. But I'm really glad we talked about it. I think these are all questions that I'm just going to sit down and think about and take the silent moments to process. Because I think once you figure out, like what you said, those priorities, once they are non-negotiable, once you can focus on them, everything else changes, especially when you align with that. And it's like, that's what I want. I know way back here, there's something I want to grab onto it. There's something bigger. But now it's just figuring out what that bigger thing is, how to get there. And so that's, yeah, I can't say I know yet what my why is, but I know it's close by. It's coming because it's all I can think about right now. So thank you for sharing all of this information. It's really great.
Yeah, thanks for that, girl. And just to like, I don't know, I feel like I'm constantly like also reevaluating and questioning and things. So, I mean, the fact of the matter is like you're seeking, so you're going to find it. And I'm super excited. And I'm just really happy that you're here. And it'll happen. It's like what they call those aha moments where you're just like, I've heard this time. And I get it.
Yes. We're going to snapshot that photo just so you know. In the yes, that's so true.
Mind blown. How about you, Amber? Do you have any questions or anything?
I just know I need to sort out my priorities, and I'm definitely like, they're so skewed. I mean, the fact that I even live here still is obviously I know that Travis is my priority, but I haven't made him one. And so that, like, I don't know, it's home. And I think I'm like, it makes me a little bit more impatient knowing that I haven't made him a priority, and knowing that, like, obviously I've made workouts a priority, but that's what keeps me sane because I'm going crazy. But I don't think like I've made the business a priority. I haven't made Travis a priority. I haven't made like any part of my life a priority. And instead I've made a bunch of kids who beat me up all day a priority. And when it comes down to it, like, what benefit is that to my life? And it's not at all.
Can I just say one thing that I think might encourage you, or I hope? You're honoring your commitment to this job, which you made before you married Travis. So in you walking this out, you are honoring your commitment. You're honoring yourself. You are honoring your husband. I know that it's hard, especially because you are married and you're not together. And I can't imagine how challenging that would be. But you're honoring your commitment to this job. And I think that's very, very, very important. For me, being true to my word is like probably one of the highest, like most valuable things like ever. And I think by you staying and finishing out this school year, like you are honoring your priorities right now. I know that, with the business, like, I get it. Cut yourself a little bit of slack though, because you are about to get married. I totally dipped out of the business when I was planning my wedding. I mean, like, no interaction in the groups, no interaction on any team calls, nothing. So give a little pat on your back and know that you are where you're at, and like I said just now to Carly, like, you're actively seeking, you're continuing to show up to these calls. This is huge. And it's the millimeter adjustments. You can be there. You are still there for Travis. I'm sure you message him and talk to him throughout the day.
That's why I'm on my phone. I feel bad that I'm on my phone, but he just woke up. So I'm like.
No, see, like that right there. So, like I said, sit down this week and really think about the top 3 priorities in your life. They don't have to be like me. They don't have to be like Carly. Think about these things in your life that are so important to you. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense to anyone else. You're created the way you're created. And you can't be compared to anyone else. So the last thing I want you guys to take this is as a form of judgment or criticism. This is all about an encouragement to, like, be able to look at those things, at the places where you feel like you're lacking. And instead of running away because you're scared and you feel like you'll never measure up, like, it's like going in there. It's courageous because you have to look at it, know that you can make those small adjustments. And at the end of the day, that's what this is about. It's like really leading a more fulfilling life. We got the health down. We're working out. We're eating good for the most part, but it's like, this is like where the fulfillment comes. So write those things down, sit down and really think about it this weekend. Even if it's just for 10 minutes, think about those 3 or 4 or however many things that are super important to you and rank them, and just start making those small adjustments, because action does not go without any reaction, no matter what, right? You're either moving forward or backward. We're never in between. So I think you're doing a good job.
I just think part of it is I feel like I'm going through the motions waiting to just not be here anymore. And so it's just like daily motions. I get up, I make coffee, I make my shake, I go to work. I sometimes teach depending on whether or not I'm getting screamed at. Mm-hmm. And then I, somehow survive throughout the day, probably because I have a box of goldfish underneath my desk. And then I come home and it's like, okay, I can breathe finally, because it's like I'm holding my breath all day long. I don't know what I'm doing. And then I finally come home. I don't get here till like 5:36, work out, eat, do whatever I need to do for work the next day, maybe shower and go to sleep. And it's like I'm just rolling through the motions. So like changing any part of that right now, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm super motivated. And then I get into it and I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm not going to do that because I'm barely breathing right now at work. Like, how am I going to sit here on my prep? And instead of doing something for next period that I still haven't prepped because I'm checked out emotionally, physically, mentally, everything, instead of doing something, I don't know. I need to, like I said, I need to sort out my priorities. And so maybe not, or maybe, get things prepped before time. So then I can sit there and do like invite or sit there and plan out the rest of my week. And it's like, that's where I think I'm emerald, because I plan out my entire week on Sunday. I plan out all my meals. I plan out everything. Mm-hmm. And then I spend so much time planning and I don't actually do it.
And that's okay. And just know that you're as long as you take action and take movement, like my homework for you for real is to sit down right like this weekend and just write out and think about, take a walk to the beach, think about what's important most to you. And you'll start understanding and realizing, you'll see it, but have grace on yourself in this process. Don't strive. And at the end of it, just accept where you're at and have grace on yourself. It's very important, because you're going to need to have grace on your coaches and grace on your challengers. So we have to have grace on ourselves first, then we can extend it to other people, So thank you guys so much for being on tonight. I'm so glad I got to see you. I kept it at 30 minutes, sorry. But yeah, you guys have a great evening, and let's definitely set up one-on-one chats or meetups or whatever. So
sounds good. Sorry I was late.
No, don't worry about it.
7:30 next time.
Totally fine. I need to put the time in the meeting next time. So
I think it's 7.
All right, you guys. Have a good night.
Thanks so much, Morgan.
Yeah, totally. I'll see you guys soon.
All right. Bye, you guys.